All right, so we're going over our logo definitions. We just looked at word in the last video. So that starts with a quote, or it's a number. You can also use that bar to put spaces in. But like I said, that's something that's going to come up rarely, and I would avoid using that for the most part. List is another kind of thing that can act as input to some procedures. It's a collection of words. So yeah, so again, words and lists act like reporters in the sense that you can't put them at the beginning of an instruction. So, oops. So you can't say, you can't put the word 7 as the first. It'll treat it so, and it's very closely to the way that it treats a reporter, right? It says, oh, 7, that's a piece of information. I don't know what to do with that information. Or if you say X-Core reports some information, it doesn't know what to do with that information, okay? So it's, or with the word hello, I don't know what to do with that, okay? What else? Oh yeah, so lists are the same idea. If I say, how are you? Same deal. I don't know what to do with how are you. But how are you, or hello there, or other lists can be inputs to other things. Like you can say, show hello there, it'll show it. Or you could say, question, how are you, right? I'm fine. Or you can say, let's see. You can say repeat 4. So repeat takes 2 inputs. It takes a number, and it takes, which is a word, right? And it takes a list. So you can have a list like forward 50, right 90. Okay? So this is a list because it has brackets around it. Okay? And we didn't put pen down, so you didn't really get to see what was going on there. I could say PD. Or, you know, maybe even better is to put some weights in here. Weight. One. Let's see if weight 1 is enough. And put another weight 1 there. Yeah, so then you can kind of see what's going on. Or you could put the pen down if you wanted to draw a square. But anyway, inside of here, notice these are all complete instructions. These are all instructions. They have their procedure names and then whatever input the procedure needs. So forward needs a 50, or needs a number, right? Weight needs a number. RT needs a number, and weight needs a number again. So as long as all your procedures have their inputs, and the first word in your list here is a command, not a reporter, then you're in good shape because you have a complete instruction then, right? So yeah, so there are, again, let me show you here. I think I actually have it now on the side here. Of course. Oh, readings and problems. If you look at readings and problems, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on kinds of information. There are different kinds of words we talked about last time, and there are also different kinds of lists. So the list so this list is called an instruction list because it's a list of instructions, but it's still a list because it has brackets around it. But you can also have like a list with just random stuff in it, right? Random stuff. Because show doesn't really care what's in the list. It's just going to give it back to you in the command center. All right. So yeah, so commands. So in this case, we have commands that take lists as input. So show only needs one input, which is a list. Repeat needs two inputs. It needs a number and a list. Okay. We can also have reporters that like lists as inputs. So you could say, so I need to put a command in at the front of my instruction list, but I'll show you the reporter first. If I say ABC, okay, the first part of that list was A. Or if I say show how now brown cow, how is, I forgot the first, didn't I? Show first of how now brown cow, it'll show me the first element in that list. Okay, or if I say forward first of 17 happy one cow, something like that. Well, it'll take the first word it finds in this list, which is 17, and it'll report that to forward. Yoink, and it'll go forward 17. Okay, so you can have lists can be there are some reporters that like lists as input. There are some commands that like lists as input. You can have a list. There are some reporters that will give you a list as an output. But the idea is that a list, if you're writing a list, that it's the same idea we're talking about with words. When Logos or when Fu is walking along the line here of his instruction or reading through his instruction, if he first sees a letter of the alphabet, he goes through and says, "Oh, I know this is a procedure." Or if he's going along and before he hits a space, if you put a number here, but before he hits a space, he sees a letter of the alphabet, he says, okay, that's a procedure name. But if he sees a quote, he knows he's looking at a word, right? Or if it's all numbers, he knows that's a word. And then if he sees a bracket like this, he says, okay, this is going to be a list, and he walks along until he gets a closing bracket. So notice with the words, we could say, okay, if it starts with a quote, I just need to read through until I see a space, and then I know I'm done with the word. So we only need a quote at the front. We don't need a quote at the end of the word. But with lists, we can't use a space as the end of the list because we want to be able to have spaces inside of our list. So that's why we need a bracket in front and a bracket in back. Okay? So a list always has a bracket in front and a bracket in back. And that bracket on my keyboard, that's this one is like right next to the P. And you press that key without using the shift key so that it comes out square. And this one is the closing one is the one to the right of that of this one. And again, you press the key without holding down the shift key. All right, so that's lists. Where are we here? Oh, okay, so that's lists, and then we need to talk about evaluating instructions and invoking instructions. So that's coming up next.